This is why you're getting signups but no paying customers for your SaaS. Now, this is a not so unique problem that every SaaS founder will eventually face when they scale. This happens when you would be getting traffic to your website, people would actually be signing up, but then your MRR would still plateau. Or even worse, it might actually take a dip, even though you see traffic coming in. Now, just real quick, I'm actually going to give you the 5 reasons why your free users never upgrade. Number one, they never felt value in the first place. Number two, your upgrade prompt limit is placed in the wrong place. Number three, your free plan is out of shape. Number four, your upgrade copy is generic. And then number five, there is no urgency in your architecture. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that's just the 5 reasons, the 5 common reasons why your free users never upgrade. If that's literally all you want to hear, then you can just click off this video and you get what you want. But then if you actually want to see the exact fix for each one, then watch this video because that is exactly what I'm gonna be covering on. Now, this video is for those who are stuck at anywhere from 10 to 30k MRR. So whatever thing that I'm gonna be telling you here, the reasons and then the fix that I'm gonna be talking about in this video can be applicable to any one of you who are stuck, because I can tell you for sure that doesn't matter what product you're building, the reason why you're stuck is related to one of these problems. Now, the free to paid conversion benchmark in B2B SaaS is around 2 to 5%. That is just the average norm in the industry. But you see, I assume that if you're watching this video, then you are stuck below 1%. And I want you to understand that the problem here that we're talking about, it's not about traffic. You're already getting traffic, you're already getting people to sign up, but these problems happen after signing up. We're talking about conversion and retention here. So I know that some founders would try to fix this situation by bringing more people, just doing more marketing, bringing more signups. But there's no point you doing that when you're basically just gonna be filling water in a leaky bucket when those users are just gonna leak anyway. So now problem number one is your users never felt value in the first place. And the reason why this is an issue is because you are basically asking someone to pay for something that they haven't experienced real value yet. And I want you to understand that every product has a activation event. This is so-called the aha moment, the moment when your user actually believes and they trust that your product is the solution to the problem. But the problem is most founders gatekeep it behind a paywall. And I want you to look at the diagram here. What most founders do, and I've seen this so many times to, even products who are making 5 figures per month. The flow work here is users will sign up. And then literally right after they create the account, you show them the paywall. And then that would just result in them churning away because they've never really experienced value yet. But what it should look like, on the other hand, is your users sign up, they face this activation event, this aha moment that allows them to actually trust and see that you can help them fix the problem. And then only after the activation event is when you show them the paywall, right after they've experienced their first value moment. And I just want you to understand that this is not necessarily a pricing problem. If users actually see that you are valuable, then pricing is not an issue. So it's purely just an activation problem. And the way how you fix it is to just find your activation event first. I want you to pull your data and then see the users who churn and then the users who retain. I want you to find the distinction between these two. And so what you want to do is rebuild your whole entire onboarding flow to structure it in a way so that every user hit that moment before any paywall gate. So this is the difference between churn users is they would sign up, they would just poke around, they would hit a paywall and then they would just fucking drop off. But then your retained and paying users, the reason why they are retained is because they may hit some event that allow them to stay. These are also the users that actually understood what they're paying for, so upgrading felt obvious to them. It doesn't really feel forced. The rule of thumb here is to never gatekeep value that hasn't been delivered yet. Now, especially when it comes to the first value moment, this is the number one thing that you don't want to gatekeep. Now, the second problem is having your upgrade prompt in the wrong place. This happens when a user were to hit a limit, an upgrade limit, which just creates frustration instead of desire for them to upgrade. So don't place your upgrade limit in the wrong area. Maybe not too early, maybe not too late. So the fix to this on how to place your upgrade prompt limit in the right area of your free plan is to map the intent signal. Now, what are intent signals? For example, is I want you to look at your existing paid user. What did they do right before upgrading? And that signal that they do right before they upgrade, this is your intent signal. And an example of that could be, let's say they invite a teammate into their workspace, which then made them upgrade because let's say you have a limit where in order for you to invite people in your workspace, you have to upgrade to a higher plan. And now that is just one real life example of one intent signal. So I just want you to break down your whole entire onboarding path and I just see what is that action that they take before they can upgrade. This is just all about good placement and execution. But if you need more direction on, how to fix your onboarding, how to fix your conversion and your retention, then under the description of this video, there's a link where you can basically get one-on-one help with me. This is where, I would actually be holding your hand. I would be structuring and tearing down your whole entire product and giving you strategies on how to actually make more money and, how to scale more. These are the same strategies that, Bouncy AI, Whisper Flow, Canva, these names that are making around 6 figures to 7 figures annually recurring in revenue are also using. So if you want more help on that, then I can help you with that. Just click the description. Just click the link under the description of this video. Moving on to the third problem is that your free plan is in the wrong shape. What I mean by that is it falls down into two things. Either your free plan is too crippled, meaning that you have features removed or some features are, buggy, they're broken. Some of the important features, as a matter of fact, could be broken. Your users, they can actually see what they're actually paying for, or even they don't even understand what your feature does. That is what I mean by, your free plan is crippled. And then on the other hand, which is more common in a lot of people's case, is that your free plan is way too generous. This happens when your users, they get free value in your free plan, so they have no reason to upgrade. Which, you can't really blame them. This is literally all your fault for, being too generous. Because I want you to understand that when you're being too generous, they don't really have a reason to upgrade. Your free plan becomes their permanent plan. And you've basically built a charity instead of a business, which, I mean, if that's what you're okay with, then fair enough. But if you build your SaaS in order for you to make more money as a business, then don't build a fucking charity. Which then it sucks even more because every retained user that you got is basically lost conversion. You're kind of looking at a misleading metric where yeah your metric is looking good, but if you actually look under the hood, those retained users are basically abusing your product because you're being too generous in your free plan. So then what's the fucking point if your MRR is not increasing but your retention rate looks healthy? So now the fix to this problem is to have a reverse trial that sells for you. Now this is a trial strategy that I've never really seen before, but holy heck, it is very effective and it's really worth a try. I forgot what's that product called that I've seen them actually executing on this. So this is like, like a strategy worth trying where day one on the free plan, you'd be giving your users complete full access to everything. And then right after that, you would just reverse the trial and then drop them to a free plan. And then this could, lead down to maybe 3 to 5 to 7 days, depending on the product. And then right after that is once the trial ends, this is when you trigger a loss aversion. This is a psychological factor when the loss aversion kicks in when they're getting FOMO, they're already they've already experienced the value in the product, especially in the full paid access. So the reverse trial, tried it out. It's a very interesting strategy that not many people are executing on. Now problem four is your upgrade copy is just too generic. You would just see some upgrade limit some upgrade prompt limits who just sound too generic, like upgrade to pro, and you're basically telling users what to do, but you're not giving them any reason on why they should do it. So this is more of a messaging problem that is dressed as a pricing problem. The fix to this is to write copy based on their perspective, like to understand what your users actually want, to reference the specific action that they took, and then make it personal. And right here in this slide, I'm giving you the formula. Give them the specific action that they took to upgrade to, the plan name and then to a specific outcome that they actually want. Just one sentence, keep it simple, keep it short, and there we go. That's the fucking formula. Now, the fifth problem on why you're getting traffic but no paying customer is you have no urgency in your architecture. This is more applicable to those who run a freemium, because I feel like free trial is not really applicable when you're kind of getting people to forcefully upgrade because they're on a time hunch. But I want you to just understand this concept that if they have an infinite time to upgrade, they will never upgrade. And this kind of relates to having your freemium being too generous. Your free users have infinite time to upgrade, which means that there is no deadline, no cause for them to wait. And if you give them no reason for them to upgrade right here, right now, today, then people are just gonna wait forever. And they will never even upgrade at all. And people don't realize this, but this is actually a very expensive problem in SaaS, is when a user say, I'll upgrade when I really need it. Don't you understand that you are losing so much money when every user were to have that mentality? So the fix to this is to have one of these, or if not all, four urgency levers. Number one of those levers is a reverse trial, like the one that I showed you earlier just now. Number two is having a progress trigger. This, of course, urges them to upgrade more. And number three is having a social trigger. This is when, if it's more applicable if you have if you have a team space. And number four is usage velocity. So I want you to map up your whole entire product flow and then to see which area in your product has the highest activity spike, because these are high intent windows, and these are the areas where you can implement your urgency levers to hit them now, so that they're way more prone to upgrade. Because talking about timing, if you actually catch them in a high intent window in any parts of your activity spike, this is when they're already active and hot. So it's way easier for them to upgrade as compared to you putting like some random upgrade limits in some random area. So you will notice that the way how you actually solve any of this problem, the one thing to fix first is to map up your whole entire product flow and then to see where are my leaks in my onboarding phase, in my activation phase, in my pricing phase, in my paywall, all of this, to see your paywall timing, the upgrade prompt, your free plan shape, the copy, your urgency architecture. All of this gets easier once you actually know the exact moment when you actually map out your whole entire product flow. And if you actually need way more help on that, then that is exactly what I do. I audit software products with the intention to fix their conversion and retention to, scale the MRR. So if you want more specific help on that, one-on-one help, directly working with me, then under the link of this, under the description, under the description, there's a link of this video where you can click, and if we're a right fit, then we can work together and make more MRR. So if you're really serious about scaling your SaaS, then check that out. And if you find this video interesting, then guess what? I have plenty more of these videos on my channel. So subscribe to this channel.